hop aboard the Abilene and Smoky Valley excursion train for a conducted ride on a heritage railway that runs through the rolling hills of Kansas.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome aboard the Abilene and Smoky Valley excursion train. We're going to begin our journey today by leaving the 1887 Rock Island Depot. The Rock Island Depot is a very important part of early Abilene and has been nominated to the National Register of Historic Places.
So begins our excursion through the Smoky Hill Valley that runs between Abilene and Enterprise, Kansas. Our 10.5-mile train ride is made possible by the volunteers of the Abilene and Smoky Valley Railroad Association.
Well, the Abilene Smoky Valley Railroad was formed in 1993, dreams of Fred Schmidt and Joe Minnick. After we were organized as a nonprofit organization, Union Pacific donated the rail to us from Abilene to Enterprise, and that is where our excursion train operates on.
This very special train is running today because we are using the 3415 steam engine. Now this steam engine is a 1919 Santa Fe Baldwin. The city of Abilene donated that to us, and we started restoration work on that in 2004. And in 2008, on November the 8th, 2008, we rolled that thing out of the engine house, fired it up, and the very first time it took off down the tracks. And of course, to see that black smoke and to hear that whistle, everybody in Abilene came down to the south end of Abilene wondering what was going on. The steam engine runs on a mixture of diesel fuel and used oil. Now we've been very fortunate that we've had a lot of companies say they're used oil for us, and that's what we're mixing with the diesel fuel. One of the things we like about the used fuel, used oil, besides being cheap, is that it's responsible for making the black smoke that you see that comes out of the steam engine. We will use about 500 gallons of fuel today. So for the 3-day weekend, that'll be about 1,500 gallons of diesel fuel oil mix.
At the end of the line, we arrive at the depot in Enterprise.
Enterprise is a town of about 850 people. It was settled in the 1850s by early English, Swedish, and German settlers.
Once we get to Enterprise, we do a switch with the engine, run it around on a siding, and hook it onto the caboose into the train to bring it back to Abilene.
Before we head back, Bob tells us about the coaches we're riding in today.
This day coach was built in 1903 by the Katy Company for the Katy Railroad, and from 1903 to 1930 it was used as a day coach. Then in 1930 the Katy Company decided to convert this car to living quarters for a work train, and so that's when they added the kitchen on in 1930, and the kitchen has a big black coal and wood burning stove that was donated by the United States Army. It also has an ice box, and that way they could keep food and prepare food for the work crew. And it took 2,500 hours to restore this car, and as you can see, they did a pretty good job.
It's evident that the hard work of all the volunteers has indeed paid off.
We have children that bring their parents to ride a train because they love trains. We have 80 and 90-year-olds that have never ridden a train before. So it's an exciting experience for them.
And it's been quite an exciting experience for everyone on board today, thanks to Mary Jane, Bill, and all the volunteer workers of the Abilene and Smoky Valley Railroad.